Okay, I've been meaning to do this for a while. We need to get a updated video out there for the Vigilant Flame update. So you can see the build we're playing. And they just announced that in December will be a new episode and a whole new revamped story in story mode. You gotta check their website for that information. So right now we're gonna go into the survival mode. And we're gonna give an update. These are my interlopers. This is the 500-day interloper that a lot of you have seen the live stream from. For Vigilant Flame, I've been playing with this character. So we're 163 days in, and we're in Mountain Town right now. So we're gonna load it up. We're just gonna take a look at, we're in the church. I haven't been here for very long in this playthrough. I wanted to go through the journal, kind of give an update of where this character stands. The game is been made even better with the Vigilant Flame update. It just keeps getting a little more refined with each update. So this is Milton, like I said. You can take a look at the character, what we've got going on here. This is kind of what, when I play, what I shoot for. You want to get that double bearskin coat. If you get lucky in the beginning of the game, and you get combat pants. And then you want to get a satchel. And then the only areas where right here, you can get thin wool sweaters, and they would give you a full 1 degree Celsius bonus. So that's the one area where in my 163 days I didn't really get the top-notch clothing, like these top-notch hats. I set up some bases. We got to level 5 cooking, like I think it was about 107 days. And we got to level 5 archery just before that. This took about 100 days. And then let's check out the journal really quick. So 65% of the world. We haven't gone to the new region, Hush River Valley. So there's a whole new region in Vigilant Flame. Pretty awesome. You can see where we were. Tried to spend some time in all those familiar regions for me. And then we just crossed through Muskeg quickly. We foraged there once. You can see we've been in Mountain Town for 7 days. Haven't been to Hush River Valley, haven't been to Broken Railroad. So, I wanted to mention this. They took out the targeting reticle for a little while in the last update, and now they have added it back in. So you can see my wildlife bow hits 125 out of 150, basically. So 24 misses. I mean, the game is made a lot harder when you don't have that targeting reticle. When I have it, you can see I'm not missing very often. 3 wolf struggles in 163 days is pretty good. You're always trying for 0. And then you can see we've been on the bears. We've got 12 kills to get all those the bearskin coats, and I also made the bedroll. You can see right there. And I was testing the bedroll to see if it still deteriorates rapidly. It does look like the deterioration rate is the same. I think it loses about 1% a day, which is kind of a lot. And we've got 2 moose kills. And they are, 163 days, they're elusive. Which is kind of cool, That's a good balance. You can see we've been able to avoid cabin fever, parasites, the bad stuff. So now what we're going to do is load up a couple of the videos. I've got highlights from the first 150 days. And some examples of maybe some weird stuff that happened while I was playing. So let's load up those videos. I edited through these. These are kind of in chronological order of the playthrough. So when you're watching right now, I probably haven't had the boat very long. And I like to do this whenever I play Interloper. The wolf I thought was interested in me, but he actually ends up going for the deer, so I'm just crouching.
Never been so hungry.
And the reason that you do this is because you get the deer and the wolf. You get to shoot at a wolf that's not moving and pretty much has no chance of attacking you. So that's why I like to do this. And then you don't have to worry about, you always want to clear the wolves whenever you're harvesting deer anyway. All this is from that Javier Pena Interloper playthrough we just loaded up. It's just like, you can get a lot closer, but why bother getting too close? You can get a headshot like that so easily. See, that's an example of even if you didn't have the targeting reticle, you'd be able to pull that off. So here's a different scenario. We've got, I know the pack is out here. So I pushed that wolf, or the deer, into the wolves. And then, you know, you can't take any of it probably until you get these guys. You just make sure it was a good timing because they were all spread out. One of the things they changed in Vigilant Flame is it seems like you can't carry around quite as much meat, even like little decoy pieces. So I've been able to carry around 2 decoys without having the scent meter pick up any sensitivity. That's not very many, so you got to keep track of them. Make sure that if you get one eaten, you replace it before too long. If you smell like the meat, the pack tends to want to come at you all at once. Makes it harder to shoot them one by one. And this is pretty much, this is like probably level 3 bow when I'm shooting these guys. That's why, like, here I'll get a nice quick cheap shot. You get your arrow back, you get some skill point real quick. That's why I take those shots. So now it's a little bit later in the game, and this is the first moose that I came across, and you can tell I'm in Pleasant Valley now. Once I make a bow and arrow and I get a bedroll, I try to do a bearskin coat and then get up Timberwolf Mountain. So I've probably made a bearskin coat and I want to go to Timberwolf, but without that moose satchel, going to Timberwolf is made more difficult because you can only carry 30 kilograms. So when I see the moose, I'm like, okay, new plan. And that was an example right there of you can get a good shot on them, but you got to get a critical hit. So you want to be shooting at them with a higher bow skill so you can get a little bit of a bonus. And he ran away there. I keep looking for, there's wolves from the backside of that hill too. And when I come out later, the bear is nearby. So now the moose isn't around right now, the bear is. It's a new plan. And the bear's even easier than the moose, you just get the bear bleeding. You still gotta be careful the bear doesn't maul you in that fishing house. I've had that happen. I don't know if it was, if that was a glitch when it happened before or what, but you gotta stand back far in the fishing house. I think I miss him there, right? Did I miss him? Can't remember. We'll go check. Well, one of the reasons I put this video up is just to kind of show this pond's got a lot of activity. Oh yeah, I remember what's going on up here. Okay. Yeah, see, you don't want to be too close to the door. That's why I've been mauled. But I can hear him walking around. This is one of those things whenever you see me play, I almost always have a weapon out. He ends up, see, he wants to charge right there. I get a shot off as fast as I can, and now he's bleeding, so I'm like, oh, phew, good. And you can kind of hear in the background, the big part of this update was, so anyway, I was talking about how I wanted to go to Timberwolf. Here we are. Usually when I get to Timberwolf, I mean, this bear presents himself. It's the Crystal Lake bear. You know, and he's usually there almost right away when you stroll in. Along with you, there's usually one wolf on the lake too. And that's why that's a highlight. You love to get those one-shot kills like that. At that point, I'm probably like level 4 archery, probably like 60-some, 70 days in, who knows. So right here, I saw the moose, and I had to sneak up this log because he kept seeing me when I was standing. And it's cold out, but the moose are so rare, you've got to stay out. I feel like, get a couple shots off whenever you can. And you're safe on the log. And that was just being patient, getting a good shot. And then this is a few minutes later. I quartered him, and I put a little campfire down. It's probably worth it to deal with a moose. The new cooking system. Okay, so that's the first video. The new cooking system and the quartering. Hammer, that's that music. Let's close that. What is that music? Oh, it's the stream. The stream started up. Sorry about that. Okay, part 2. Okay, this is a little out of order. This was a bear that the very first bear I came across in Mystery Lake when I was checking this blind. And I didn't have a bow and arrow yet. So I was like trying to test the flare gun earlier in the game to see if I can get like just a cheapy bear hide. And that was one where I got him. And the thing that I was testing, and the reason I had this video in is, see, it was a sunny day out, and I see he's bleeding, so I put a fire next to that little building, and then you wait for him to bleed out. And that's how I got my first bear hide in this playthrough. It was like day 22 or 3. And I remember I was waiting for my maple to cure. You can see this is like a couple hours later. He had wandered back down, and I don't want to like waste any more bullets. So you're just kind of like waiting around for him to die. And I could hear that. That's when you heard him die. And then he's right near your fire too. There's that little building nearby. So I put this video in because this is the new cooking system. And in Pleasant Valley, you've got this farmhouse with 6 burners. So right now I've got a fire going, and I'm making water on 6 burners. And I was cooking through teas and that kind of stuff, and meat to bump up my cooking skill. And then you'll see in a second, there's an outdoor fire pit here too. So I was cooking indoors and outdoors. And I found that was like kind of there's new methods to stockpiling because the cooking has changed. And the outdoor stoves are now really useful when they have at least two cooking slots. The fishing hut stoves are a little less useful because they only have 1 cooking slot. And indoor stoves seem to be much more useful, so. At this point, I had just become level 5 cooking, and I had killed a bear, so I was cooking through all the bear meat, stockpiling at this Pleasant Valley house. Pleasant Valley is actually, it's so cold in Pleasant Valley in Interloper that it can be really difficult to harvest food regularly. if you can get one of the big animals near a fire near your cabin, or do the quartering kind of process, it's pretty useful in Pleasant Valley. You can see they let you fast forward kind of through the cooking process, so you don't have to wait forever. I think it seems like it works pretty good. It seemed like the meat was deteriorating. It was weird. You have to actually drop the meat and then place it on the fire. I thought they should probably be able to just go from your inventory to the fire, since you can for pretty much everything else. So this is just really quick. Some people aren't aware that you can get stuff from near the water's edge, the ocean, coastal highway. So that was just an example, really quick, getting some painkillers. And there's a few different spots. There's some spots are easier than others. You gotta kind of figure it out. I think I probably have another video of that in here too, but you get saplings in the late game. So we got a real quick bear kill there. Once you've killed that bear in Desolation Point, you know, he's the only one. And you can go and you can stay in his cave. Especially if you get like cabin fever in this area, just go stay in his cave. So this was funny right here. I've never seen a moose in Desolation Point, and there wasn't one when I came here, but this one showed up. And I guess he was up on top of the bridge, and I walked underneath of it, and it activated him. And all I did was notice his, and then this is like the next day. I thought I was safe on that rock, but I guess I wasn't. He's still coming for me, so I just keep running around. And then he's right about to get me and he gives up. So that was a highlight right there. And at this point here, I remember shooting at this guy. I was low on arrows. That was why I was even here. I was crafting when I was waiting for the birch to dry. I remember this guy I tried to kill for 4 or 5 days, and I probably hit him 10 times. None of them were critical hits. And after like the 4th or 5th day, he wasn't there anymore. That's the first time I have had so much trouble with one where I hit him over and over again. And then, you know, I scared him off with 2 flares, so I used up 2 flares on him. And it's weird, in the stats it says those are misses, even though those were clearly hits, but whatever. This is a fun one. He runs at me, so I back away so that he'll run back. It's just too easy to kill these guys like this. You can see now, it's late game now, so I could crouch, so I was like level 5 bow already. Still taking the easy way though.
Might have to drop some gear.
It's another one. I think this one here, I was just walking by. I saw it. Saw them running. You want to be careful of these ones. If they're too far out, you'll kill them on weak ice, and you won't be able to get them anyway, and you won't be able to get your arrow. So you don't want to shoot them if they're too far out there.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, so here's a spot where I make a mistake. You could see when I turned there was wolves out on the ice, but I didn't see them when I was playing. So when I heard that bark, I didn't know where that was coming from. And that's why I'm looking around like a dopey guy. And then I'm thinking, oh, I'll be able to get a shot off. He'll go for the decoy. And I was wrong. So I wanted to, so you could see I was at like 80%, 85% health. He bit me twice. I think I lost about 20% health from each bite. And I used the hatchet to scare him away, so you could see he's bleeding too, so he'll die. Obviously you want to make sure you always have all that stuff on you. These bandages and stuff. If you don't have them on you, you're not playing Interloper right. And I got my decoy back. And then it's ironic because that cabin right there, if you're not aware, this cabin, that's the best sleep in the game. If you sleep for 10 hours with 750 calories, you get 42% condition back in that cabin. And then that little thing there is I was just showing because you take off your clothes so you can sprint a little bit better, and then you can run out farther out on the ice and get some of that stuff. And this little clip here is an example of how put a fire around these workbenches and then work on stuff for like an hour at a time while you're cooking your meat. It's a good way to cook the meat for an hour and work on stuff next to a fire so you're not getting cold. So here I think I did it for like a whole day, and I made the bearskin bedroll just kind of next to a fire while I cooked meat. Being efficient with the cooking system. And then if you can kind of get the theme of when I play, you know, I'm never shooting at the animals that can hurt you unless I'm safe somewhere. So you can kind of see when you're shooting at the bear and the moose to be up on a log. This was a fun one because you've hit him, but the bear charges, he thinks he can get to you. So I get a little cheapy shot right there. And I checked the weather, and it just seemed like I could quarter him without getting too cold. I was right.
I'm gonna need to rest soon.
And here's another. This one had been I shot at him earlier in the day, And then he was just kind of following me around. And he got another one of those awesome, like, level 5 critical hit shots. Makes things easy. So here I'm in Milton. On the farms. I can't remember the locations. The farmstead house in Milton. And this was strange because this wolf, like, comes onto the porch. So I'm just kind of watching him. And there he is. He's like on the porch. I thought, that's weird. Maybe I won't stand on the porch anymore. So I don't know about that. And this is one, I'll probably fast forward through a little bit of this, but this is one where sometimes in a big wide open area, I like to just harvest a bunch of meat and then just stand there and let the wolves come to me, any that are nearby. And so I knew that there was some up over this ridge, at least one, but I didn't really want to go walking up there to find him. So whenever you get a chance like this, you can kind of hold a dead rabbit. It's a good way to do it. There was a whole wolf there, so I just got all of them. You smell really bad, and then you just kind of wait. You don't have to wait too long. If it's windy in the right direction, it'll happen even faster. And then you just make sure you have a good view. See, I was standing on a little ridge. I had a good view. And this is definitely one of the ways where if you're getting mauled a lot, because you don't know where wolves are, then you need to be doing this more often. Fighting them in the wide open spaces. And once you've made sure he's bled, now you're safe up ahead of you. And then you could even drop the meat just in case if you wanted to. I ended up going over there and picking that sapling. Okay, and that's it. Hope those videos help a little bit. But yeah, the update is good. See you next time.